Hello and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in this episode, we have 3 NRL games results and scorers for you, while the RFL return to Wembley for the Challenge Cup with a surprise. We start the episode in the NRL, and after making a real statement by beating the Broncos last week, the Roosters have a chance to prove their mettle against the second place Cowboys, who will be hunting for their 4th win on the trot. The Tricolours have put a win between themselves and 9th place Raiders, and it's all thanks to skipper James Tedesco, who's in fine form. And he led them to a comfortable victory over Brisbane, who up until that result even, had been among the front runners to claim a top 4 place. The Cowboys were made to work for it against the Bulldogs last week, with a late double from Scott Drinkwater helping them to a win which keeps them in with their slim chances of jumping past Penrith for the minor premiership. They're keeping it alive for the time being, shall we say that. When they met earlier this year, it is the Roosters that were convincing 28 points to 4 winners on the road. Here are the teams. Well, for the Roosters, hooker Sam Verrills has been named and set to play after being included as hooker. Egan Butcher returns after serving a 1-match ban, replacing Ben Thomas on the bench. There are no changes when the teams went to 19 men. After suffering a hamstring injury which denied him in the place in the Origin decider, but the Cowboys, Jordan McLean is back on the Cowboys bench, but winger Cal Felt remains sidelined with his own hamstring injury. Reuben Cotter comes into the starting side with Jermaine Tunoa-Brown going back to the bench. There were no changes to the Broncos 24 hours out. A good day for the Roosters as they down second place North Queensland Cowboys 32 points to 18. Joseph Suwali got the scoring up and running on the 3rd minute after he scored in the right corner off a Victor Radley long ball. Matt Lodge then scored on the 16th minute and off a short ball from Radley to go in under the posts. Murray Tuilagi scored on the 32nd minute to give some confidence back to the Cowboys, but that was surely dented just before half-time as Daniel Tupou went over in the corner spectacularly and also face-planting at the same time. Half-time was 14 points to 6, with Walker only converting the Lodge try. After half-time, Sam Verrills scored on the 52nd minute for the Roosters to extend the lead once more. Reece Robson scored on the 52nd minute to give Cowboys a little bit more hope. But Jared Wahara-Hargreaves completed this front row set for the Roosters for each of those members starting the game, going over for a try on the 64th minute. Sam Verrills got his second of the game on the 67th minute. But the last points of the day went to the Cowboys as Hamiso Tabuai-Fidau went on the 78th minute, which means every single winger on the pitch went over for a try. Valentine Holmes converted 3 from 3, while Sam Walker converted 4 from his 6 attempts. But the Roosters are 32 points to 18 winners. The second game of the day sees the West Tigers take on the Cronulla Sharks, and with 4 rounds to play in the 2022 season, the Sharks must keep on winning to secure a top 4 spot, while the Tigers need victories to stave off the unwanted wooden spoon. Through the dramas of the past decade, West Tigers have never finished last in their 22 seasons as a joint venture, but Sunday's loss to the Knights leaves them precariously placed 15th, just a win ahead of the Titans. The Sharks meanwhile are sitting pretty in 3rd spot and face a team well below them in the ladder in the final 4 games. They faced multiple teams in that sort of circumstance. But coach Craig Fitzgibbon is not taking anything for granted in that run home. Fitzgibbon has done a remarkable job in his first year as a senior coach to return to the Sharks and return the Sharks to the top 8 after a disappointing 2021 season. He'll be ramming home the importance of a strong final month to build momentum for a shot at the club's second premiership. Now on to the team news for the game, and West Tigers have Luke Gardner returning from a 2-week neck injury in a boost for the side, replacing Alex Seyfarth in the back row. Brett Kamoli's side were otherwise unchanged in the 24-hour update, with Joe Offengawa shifting from the prop position to lock, and the impressive rookie Vanua Pole reverts to the interchange bench. With Ken Mulimalo sidelined with a suspected PCL injury, Stafford To'a shifts to the wing, and James Roberts comes in at centre in his 6th appearance of the year. For the Sharks, Siosifa Talake has a shoulder injury, which is ruled out in the 24-hour team update. Matt Ikivalu is called into the centres. Royce Hunt returns from a shoulder injury of his own and takes Andrew Fafita's place on the bench. Playmaker Matt Moylan remains sidelined with a quad injury, so Braden Trindle again fills the 5'8" role. Dale Finucane is back from suspension, so Cameron McInnes reverts to the bench. A day for the Sharks at West Tigers as they ran out 36 points to 12 victors. The game was opened up on the 5th minute for the point scoring as Lachlan Miller got on the end of a Nico Hines grubber to score in the right corner. Matikivalu then added more points on the 9th minute with a try of his own. Then Royce Hunt got over on the 19th minute, a bit after Famanu Brown scored for the West Tigers on the 13th. Both teams were running at over a point a minute at this period of the game, but it all quieted down until the 34th minute when Nico Hines slotted over a penalty after a high tackle was called by the referee. It was 26 points to 6 at half time, and the Sharks kind of eased off in the second half. First of all, Braden Hamlin-Ulele scored on the 52nd minute before Luke Garner scored possibly the classiest try of the game on the 56th minute. Jesse Ramian scored on the 61st minute to put the tie to bed, but there was a slight glimmer of hope, but wasn't taken after Teague Wilton was sent to the sin bin for a late tackle. Wasn't that late, but rules are the rules. Nico Hines finished with numbers of 6 from 7 when it comes to conversions and penalties, while Adam Duhey converted the 2 tries that the West scored. We also now bring you some information from the Betfred Challenge Cup. You may have heard, but the Betfred Challenge Cup returns to Wembley for 2023 and will take place in 365 days, Saturday, the 12th of August. And for the first time, the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup final will be part of the Rugby League's traditional showpiece occasion. The 2023 Betfred Challenge Cup final will be the 122nd in the competition's history and the 80th to be held at Wembley Stadium, while the women's competition will be in its 11th year. The AB Sundex final, 1895 Cup, and the Year 7 champion schools will also be a part of Finals Day. The RFL's commercial officer Mark Foster said, "Wembley Stadium is a cup finals spiritual home, a superb venue with plenty of attractions nearby and well supported, and also for supporters of all ages, including the iconic Wembley Way. And I am delighted for the first time in the Challenge Cup history, the women's final will be held at Wembley Stadium. It's already been a hugely significant year for the women's sports in this country, which will continue with the Rugby League World Cup later this year. We have been working for some time to get the women's final on the same day as the men's, and now to make this happen will give the game a great boost. Our strategic and commercial partners, BBC, IMG and Betfred, are also very much supportive of this new finals day. We have an excellent working partnership with our hosts, and we will work closely with them to give supporters a day to remember. Wembley was not available last year, of course, and Tottenham Hotspur Stadium proved a fantastic alternative. We look forward to seeing Rugby League there one day soon. The continued growth of women's sports in the UK has been bolstered by the fact that the Lionesses won the Women's European Football Finals recently. I didn't watch any of it, to be honest, and when I found out the result and people involved, I thought it was fantastic. Georgia Stanway, one of the people involved in the Lionesses, is the partner of Ollie Ashall-Bott, who is the fullback of Toulouse. So to see that sort of cross-brand knowledge will help Rugby League in the future. Unfortunately, Georgia Stanway has moved to Bayern Munich Women in Germany. Hopefully that's a new market as well for Rugby League. She could be the ambassador there. Ellen Road of Leeds held the 2022 Challenge Cup final for the women's game, and it saw St Helens lift the trophy once again after winning it at Leigh Sports Village back in 2019. So, as the game grows, so do the venues. And now, going to Wembley will be the biggest one for all the women's teams in the north and hopefully the south, as well as in Catalan. Will be looking to get to the final, to be part of that. It's a historic day. On comments through the rugbyleague.com website, RFL head of growth Thomas Brindle said, 10 years ago, the first women's Challenge Cup final was at Crown Flats, Dewsbury. In 2023, the 11th final will be played at Wembley. This is a measure of how far the women's game has come in a relatively short period of time, and of how quickly it continues to evolve. This is another big step for the women's game, and adds even greater incentive among players and teams alike to reach the final. And the last NRL game of the day sees the Broncos, who have slipped from 4th to 7th on the back of a loss to the Roosters and the Tigers, and looking to steady the ship at home in round 22 against the Newcastle Knights. With games against the Storm and the Eels to come, it's crucial for Kevin Walters' men to take care of business against the 15th place Knights and get their defence back in order after conceding 66 points in the past fortnight. The Knights are coming off a morale-boosting win over West Tigers and fancy their chances of an upset on the back of Daniel Sori-Fiti, Tyson Frizzell and Mitch Barnett up front, and Dane Gagai's impressive form out wide. After conceding 148 points, or at an average of 37 per game between rounds 17 and 20, the Knights found some real resolve against the West Tigers, and will now need a similar commitment performance if they are to put the clamps on a rampant Broncos, or even a wounded pack of Broncos. And the final team news of Saturday. The Broncos have centre Brenko Lee missing out after he experienced hamstring tightness at Wednesday's training and was unable to take his place in Friday's captain's run. He's replaced by Deloise Hoyter, and a change on the bench came 24 hours before kickoff, with James Ryan added to the 17, with Keenan Palacia missing out. After making a successful return, Thierry Martin is back in the number 1 jersey, making the successful return from a rib injury for Wynnum Manley last Sunday. In the pack, Billy Walters has been named to start at hooker, with Jake Turpin on the bench. A change on Friday for the Knights sees David Clemmer dropping out, replaced in the starting side by Jacob Sayafiti, with Jesse Sewer added to the bench. Adam Clune is back in the number 7 jersey in place of Jake Clifford, who played several minutes with a fractured arm in Sunday's victory over the West Tigers. He underwent corrective surgery on Tuesday to repair the fracture. Mitchell Barnett is also out with a thumb injury, replaced at lock by Matt Croker. Winger Edric Lee remains in the squad when it was trimmed to 19 on Friday and could be a late inclusion as he looks to return from a foot injury. And it was the Broncos that got back on winning ways after they pulled out a 28 points to 10 victory over the Knights, thanks mostly to Selwyn Cobbo scoring a hat-trick. He scored his first of the game on the 18th minute before Corey Oates made it a double as he scored on the 32nd minute. Ezra Mans scored before half-time, with Adam Reynolds kicking 3 from 3 to make it 18 points to 0 at half-time. After half-time, it was the Knights who got on the board, as Daniel Saifiti got over the try line on the 58th minute, with Anthony Milford converting, and Bradman Best scoring on the 65th minute for the Knights' 10 points. At the end of the game, though, 71 and 76 minutes, seen Selwyn Cobbo score the rest of his tries, with Reynolds converting one more. It was one-way traffic and a good Broncos win. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way. Tell me what your thoughts are of the episode in the comment section below, as the comment section is all open for you guys to watch, to spread the word of rugby league, shall we put it that way. Now, we've had 3 fantastic NRL games this morning, results going the way that they do. But I think the big news is the Wembley finals for all three trophies, the Challenge Cup, men's and women's, and also the AB Sundex 1895 Cup, all being played at Wembley. First time ever for the women's game. That is a fantastic effort. I hope there's a structure where every single team in the North and South Rugby League, as well as the Championship Rugby League, can be a part of the Challenge Cup for next season. Yes, it may mean that players are travelling here, there and everywhere, but it also may mean more coverage for teams down south, growing the game, sponsorships, etc, etc. Anyway, you tell me in the comments below what your thoughts are. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. And I'll end today by wishing you all the best. So please stay safe. And I'll see you in the next episode in a little while.